Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. This is my YouTube live. Been waiting to do this with you guys. And first of all, thank you for being here tonight. And I want to start out by saying that, we've all suffered through this pandemic. And, 18 months we couldn't speak at schools. And last week I was in Connecticut for our first presentation. We did three events in Connecticut. So we're back on tour, back working again. Not that we ever stopped. We were doing virtual events, but it's not the same as being live with students. And I just want to thank everyone that has helped me and supported me during this difficult time. Our program Champion of Choices, of course, not myself, but our Champion Choices program. And I'm asking anyone that maybe can help us get into schools, can support us, or maybe you can bring us to one of the schools that your kids go to. You can go to that. We have a link that I put up there at the top of this chat. It's thinkpause.org/donate. And you could donate there. And that helps us with airlines and rental cars and hotels and food and everything involved in travel. It's very expensive now. So we're asking you and reaching out to you to help us. And I just can't thank you all enough. And I listed some people that are already helping us get to schools and offsetting the costs to go to these schools. So thank you, thank you. And I want to also just reach out to a few people that are good friends of mine that are here. I'd like to say hello to Daniel and Vanna's out here tonight. People that I chat with all the time online. So it's great to see them. And I got some questions. I got a couple pages worth of questions, some really good questions too. And I wanted to start out. So if you have some questions, type them up, put them over there, and I'll try to get to them as soon as I can. But I want to start out with the first one's kind of a wrestling question. It's from Matthew. It says, Mark, I have a question for you. I've been watching the Survivor Series from 1996. It was me, Barry Windham, Jake Roberts, and The Rock. It was The Rock's debut match. I was the captain of the Survivor Series team, and Rock just came into the company just a few weeks before this. And so it was really exciting to have him on our team, this rookie that came in. And well, the question he has, though, is pretty cool. It says, did you ever imagine that he would have the career that he had? What was it like teaming with him? Well, first of all, Rock has always been a great guy, a great sense of humor, a fun guy. And a lot of people don't know this about him, though, but he's a very spiritual person, too. He's got a strong faith. He used to come to me and we used to pray before our matches. And am I surprised? No, they ever expected to go like this. I don't think anyone did. I mean, he's like one in a billion. He's just an incredible actor. And last night I watched his movie Red Notice. It was on Netflix last night, and it's really good. So check it out if you get a chance. But it broke the record for Netflix. Like it's in one day it's done. It's the best grand opening they've ever had on Netflix. So congratulations, Dwayne. You are amazing, and I look forward to our paths crossing once again in life. Take care, my friend. So, all right, that was a very good question. Now, let me see if there's any questions over here before I get into the ones I already have written. What do you think of the WWE product currently and AEW? Well, I don't get to watch wrestling that much. I do DDPY with Diamond Dallas Page, his yoga program, and once in a while we have a lot of well, there's always people there, celebrities or other wrestlers that train with us. And Jade was there not too long ago, and Darby Allin. So it's really cool to meet them. And when I meet someone, it's like I'd like to, see them perform. So I got to watch them on television. So I tuned in to watch them specifically. I remember training with Darby Allin. We were doing DDPY train together. And Dallas said, "Man, you got to see this guy wrestle. He's crazy, And he showed me Darby showed me some clips of him on his iPhone, and I had to tune in to watch him. And he's just a tremendous talent, and glad to call them guys friends now. But I don't get to watch it that much. But I do want to say that the best thing for professional wrestling is competition. There was no better time to watch wrestling when we had the Monday Night Wars, the Nitro versus Raw every Monday. It brought the best out in the talent And so many stars were made back then. It was just an incredible time in wrestling, and I was glad to be a part of the Attitude Era. So let me see what I got here. Will you please come out of retirement and knock out Jake Paul? Guys, as far as retirement goes, I got to tell you, what the coolest thing, I've had 14 surgeries, total reconstruction, my knee, elbows, shoulders, heart surgery, back. I've had so many different surgeries, but I feel incredible. I'm 61 now. And through my healing and the type of training I do with the DDPY, and also I don't do any ballistic movements in workouts. Like when I lift weights, I use a slow protocol, like 3 or 4 seconds up and 3 or 4 seconds back. So I really have built my body up stronger than I've ever been. So I never say never. I watched DDP do a match, I think last year, the year before, and at 61 or something. So if he can do it, I certainly can give it a shot. Okay, guys. Um, do you still do push-up contests with DDP? Yes, we are crazy. Him and I, we both inspire each other, and we've gone back and forth this push-up contest, which started, oh my gosh, 20 something years ago. We used to train together on the road, so we'd always be competitive in the gym, lifting together and stuff. And he has had my number for a while on that push-up contest, and finally I just dug down and was able to reclaim the title. And recently he's taken it back again, so I got to get back. But we have so much fun, competing against each other. We always bring each other to a different level, and that's one of the things I love to share with people about. We become who we surround ourselves with. You guys hear it all the time. I always say, yeah, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Your friends are like elevators. They're either going to take you up or they're going to take you down, and I just want to surround myself with positive people. There's just so much negativity in the world, and have you ever talked to someone on the phone that's constantly just telling how bad life is and everything they're going through, and they hate this person, they can't stand this, and I tell you, it wears me out. And I'm always trying to change the subject to something more positive, But those are the people I got to tell you, you can only help people for so long before you realize that sometimes misery loves company. I mean, some people just love to be negative, and it's hard for me to be around those type of people. And I think that's what helps me become more positive in my life, is the people I chose to surround myself with. Um, you look young though, Mark. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I feel young. Man, gosh, if I didn't know I was 61, I would say I feel 30. I mean, I wrestle. I think the best time in wrestling was when I was about 34. I was in like the most incredible shape and felt really good. But I really have taken my life through nutrition, through my training to another level. It's like, what I put in my body is so important, and I've used this analogy before, and you guys might have heard it. If you had a brand new Ferrari, okay, you were just given a brand new Ferrari, or maybe you had to pay for it for years and you finally got a Ferrari, right? And you was parked in the driveway and it needed gas. I don't care if gas was $10 a gallon, you would put the best gas in that Ferrari. Well, let me tell you, your body is your Ferrari for life. And we often put junk in our own Ferrari. So I want to treat my body like a Ferrari, and I put the best food in, whether it's organic, and I'm grain free, gluten free. So I really try to eat smart. And it's helped me hold back the hands of time. And I really feel good. So if anybody out there is struggling with health, it's so important to think about what you're putting in your body. Okay. And also, depression and anxiety can also lead to weight gain and feeling down, and food becomes a comfort. So be very careful there too, guys. I love your tweets. Tweets are so inspirational. I've been having a really hard time, Lacey. So your tweets kind of help me with anxiety. Well, Lacey, thank you for sharing that with everyone here. I think, we all have an opportunity to inspire people. Every one of us, the thing is, I think, is that every one of us has a story. We've all gone through something that maybe changed our life, but sometimes we don't like to share that because we feel like, oh my gosh, I'm I'm sorry about that. My brother's calling me. So, I have my phone right here. Okay. So, um, where was I? I was talking about, oh gosh, I'm so sorry about that. I'm trying, I got a million things I want to share with you guys tonight. Um, what did I just say? I was talking about anxiety. So, um, oh man, I'm so sorry. Jeez, just completely lost my train of thought when that phone rang. So if somebody can remind me what I was just talking about, please put it there so I can get right back to it. Okay. If not, I'll move on to something else. Um, my little sippy cup. um, Hope you come to San Antonio. Love your presentation. I know a lot of kids here in Texas that can learn from your story. I've been to San Antonio. I would love to come back. It's crazy. I mean, we average about 230 events a year. I mean, this is my 15th year speaking. The only time we didn't do that many, obviously, was during this pandemic. But we're coming back, and hopefully I'll be on the road as much as possible, and hopefully come to a town near you. And if we have a community night, I'd love you to come out and see to see the presentation and hopefully inspire you guys. Um, if our friends are bad influences, it's better to let them go and find better friends that value what we value, or better to be a godly influence to them. There's a fine line there. You can only help people so long. And the hard part is I've helped a lot of people that do really well for a while, and then sometimes maybe the people they're influenced by, or they get back into alcohol or drugs or something that took them down before. And it's just always surprises me because I've been addicted before and I know what it's like, but I just could never find the joy I have in my life in what I do now and how I feel now, and especially helping people. I recently lost my mother back in August. It had been hard, but in living my life, what words of inspiration do you have for someone who lost their parent? That is a great question because I lost both my parents. My mom died. She was only 58, and many of you have heard the story or seen the video that I talk about my mother. And my dad died. He wasn't very. My dad was 70, and he died from cancer. And I was holding him in my arms. The one thing I think about is so many people have trouble. We all grieve, and don't get me wrong, and I don't want to minimize this because everyone has their own time of grieving. Some people can get over it in a short time, and some people it takes a long time, and I understand that. But the thing that helped me get over the pain of losing a parent, sometimes there's I don't know, other pain maybe of losing a daughter or son that could be even comparable to the pain of losing a parent. But I often think about when I'm depressed or down, thinking about my mom or dad or something I'm going through. I think about it would absolutely break my mother's heart to ever see me depressed or hurting. It would hurt her. And I know your mom probably loved you so much that it would break her heart to see you not being able to get on with your life. And I think if they were here, they'd say, would you come on and get over this, move on, enjoy your life, live a victorious life? And that's really helped me, is to think about what they would think of me if I wasn't being able to get on with my life, because they always wanted the best for me, just like I believe most parents want the best for their children, just including your mom who wanted the best for you. Uh, I've always I've always been nervous and anxious, especially with people. I've always had terrible social anxiety. It's hard for me to talk because I get so nervous. Lacey, you are not alone. Some of the hard, they say the things that people fear the most. They talk about the 5 things or 10 things that people fear the most. The number 2 thing is death. The number 1 thing that people fear the most, public speaking. Yes, believe it or not. So people would rather be in the casket than give the eulogy. Okay, so I totally understand that, and then it actually goes with one of the questions that I want to let's see. This gentleman named Connor wrote to me. He said, "What can I do when anxiety blocks me from my dreams and my passions? I'm fresh out of the university, and my anxiety even stops me from succeeding in basic job interviews. Compared to when I was a teenager, I had become a much more positive person through reading books, fitness, and conscious habit. But whenever I step into any stressful or unknown situation, my anxiety flares and takes over everything else. And I'm sure you could relate to that. What he's saying, right, Lacey, is exactly what he's saying. And so, in a way, Connor, you've kind of answered your own question. I want to touch on this, okay? Um, I often think about, like, we often build obstacles in our own heads that are often a lot worse than the actual thing we go through. So many of our worries or things that we are never as bad as we envision them, or never happen like we think they're going to happen. And sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves. And see, what's helped me is helping another person. I can talk about the times that I fell apart. The times that I was so nervous that I couldn't perform well, or whatever it may be. We all go through stuff. And anybody out there who says that they haven't is not telling you the truth, because we all go through some type of depression, anxiety, some type of something that's really affected us, especially in a public setting. But reading your thing here, man, I tell you something. You are probably an amazing person, and I think you got to have a little more confidence when you go into these things and not let it take control. And the way you do that, like what you said, compared to when you were a teenager, when you felt you were more positive, well, whether it's reading books, fitness, conscious habits. But whenever you step into a stressful situation, my anxiety flares up. Okay. So this is something that, whether you can talk about this more, open up. I think sometimes when we hold things in, it's like a volcano. And sooner or later, man, that volcano erupts, and often erupts into very negative behavior, whether it's depression or anxiety, or whatever that may be. And in your case, having trouble even at a job interview. But if uh, sometimes, man, if there's ever a chance that I could talk to you right before you go in, that would be great. Okay, I'll get you pumped up, but I guarantee, man, you will knock them down and you will get that job. But make sure you go after a job that is your passion, buddy. All right, let's see. Um, Lacey's also saying that it's not just public speaking; it's just talking one on one. And Lacey, that's something that, I mean, obviously, that's something that you have issues that maybe whether you talk to a counselor or a therapist or someone that maybe can help you with that. There's times that I've been really nervous talking to someone, and it slowly goes away as I got older. And I tell you, I still get nervous even walking out on stage at times, man. There's times, you've never seen an audience like a middle school or high school kids. They can be brutal, but man, I always somehow win them at the end with a great presentation, because I know what I'm talking about because of experience. And I think what you're going through, I think it's amazing how it's like people are almost assigned in our life. It's like God assigned someone in your life. And what you're going through your struggles, you find your strength, and you're able to help another person that's also going through something you went through. So um, please just talk to someone about this, get the help you need, because you don't ever want to feel like you can't just talk to someone, whether it's just one on one or a group of people. It's not the life I'd want to see you live. So let me get back to some of these questions here, because I got quite a few of them. Let's see. Vanna, what made you believe in pursuing your dreams and goals, as in being a wrestler or a motivational speaker? It all started when I was a little boy. When I write my dreams and goals down in that book, I bring that book to every one of my presentations, and I hold it up and I show people that I wrote my dreams and goals into existence. It starts by writing it down. Don't just think it, ink it. So I wrote them down, and they were. And some of the things I wrote down as a kid, it's kind of funny when you look back. I was going to find the cure to mental illness. Yes, I wrote that down when I was 10 years old. Okay. I was going to help crippled children. I believed that I was going to find the cure for these things. And what I realized as I got older, now those things obviously I wasn't able to achieve, but failure is not aiming high and missing. Failure is aiming too low and hitting. And I want you to dream big in life. I want you to aim high in life. I didn't find the cure for crippled children or cancer or things I would write down as a little kid because I want to be a scientist, you know. But I achieved these other goals that I wrote down: being a professional athlete. I wrote down I was going to win Rookie of the Year. I wrote down, I was going to have a boat and a fancy black Cadillac, and all these things that were, even though they were material things, that you realize don't mean all that much when you get older, and you realize what truly is important, and what's really important in life is relationships. I mean, when you I see so many young people that are so concerned with what other people think or say about them, and it takes away from so much because it builds a lot of depression because someone doesn't, like, especially online, people say cruel and mean things, and you're not defined by someone else's opinion, and don't base your limitations on what other people think and say. They don't know you. They never walked in your shoes. They never lived your life. So be very careful there. And I really see this more and more as social media has exploded. So many kids are so depressed because what other kids are saying about them, and it takes away their goals and dreams in life. But you have to pursue your passion. It isn't just writing it down, it's taking action towards goals and dreams. And I encourage you to do that. Find someone that has done something you want to do. I mean, you can Google just about anybody and look at, they often lead a trail of success to how they got to where they're at. And so you can read about people and find out how they achieved this, or what schools they went to, or different things that they did to get to the level that they're at. So check that out if there's somebody that you admire and emulate, and just make it your own. All right. Oh, we got so many more here. Let's see. Your presentation are amazing. It helped change my son. He's now a Marine. Oh, Melinda, thank you for sharing that with me. You know what? I get about 100 messages a day, and my favorite message, I love hearing from students, but when I get a message from a mom or a dad on how their daughter or son was changed, or even saved in some cases, it is the biggest blessing, because obviously the presentation meant enough to them to share with their parents. And that's why our community events often do very well. We usually draw really well at those community events because all the kids will say, "Mom, Dad, you got to see this. I want you to see this presentation." So thank you, Melinda. I really appreciate that. All right. I want to be like you, Mark. No, you don't want to be like me. You are going to be a better version of me. Okay. We see. And the thing is people only see part of your life. Like people don't always see the hardships and the heartaches we've gone through. Um, and when someone says, "I want to be you," or "want to be like you," or, I'm telling you, Vanna, people admire you for who you are. And I am so pleased to call you my friend. You have helped. You are always posting positive things. I see the things you post. I go, my gosh, this little girl is like crazy, inspirational. So you just keep being the best version of you. Thanks for answering the question I sent earlier. Greatly appreciate. Okay, that was Connor. Cool, cool. Let's see. Melinda, Melinda was at the presentation with your son. That's cool. Or I think that's what you just said. John Doe. Okay, just wanted to thank you for the wrestling. Cool. Thank you, my friend. All right, let me get back to some of these questions that you guys sent in here. Okay. Okay, what is one thing that you would tell others so they could remember to never give up? You know, we all go through failure on the road to success. The Rocky say, it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up and keep moving forward. That is so true in life, man. I've had a lot of failures in life. I made a lot of mistakes. I've hurt a lot of people, including myself. But at the end of the day, you have to forgive everyone and everything, including yourself. And sometimes the hardest person to forgive is ourselves. but make that choice to forgive you. We all make mistakes, but you got to move on in life. Um, Pursue the passion you love in life. So many times people we often surround ourselves with a lot of negative people, and there's a lot of people who say that, well, why you can't do something. You're not qualified for that. You're not big enough to play football. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. And let me tell you, the reason why people tell you that you can't do it is because they can't do it. Do not give up on your goals and dreams. And I really challenge people that. And most of the amazing things that happened to me didn't happen until later on in life. People don't realize I didn't become a professional wrestler until I was 31 years old. I became an inspirational speaker at 47. I wrote my first book. I was 50 years old when I wrote my first book. So don't give up on dreams and goals. And when I meet a lot of adults that become complacent in life. And it's one of the saddest things that I go through as being an adult myself is meeting people who are so down, and they'll say things to me like, I wish I would have, or I wish I could have. Or they'll say, those were the days. And I'm like, no, these are the days. These are the days we can accomplish anything we set our minds to. We grow in grace and knowledge. We learn from past mistakes. You want to write a book. You want to start a business. You want to rekindle a relationship with an old friend you haven't talked to in years. Pick up the phone, make the call. Do not act like the best years of your life have already passed when you say those were the days. No, these are the days. You have to believe that the rest of your life will be the best of your life. Your best years are about to be written, but you are the author. And I say this all the time. And every day you could write a new page. And just because you had some bad chapters, just like me, it doesn't mean it's the end of the book. Don't give up. All right. What's the best way for someone to handle a bully? Okay, I get this all the time, obviously, because we deal with a lot of bullies at school, and every situation's a little different. The thing I always talk about, the last resort, obviously, is any type of violence, because chances are you're going to get suspended or thrown out of school or something like that. The thing I always talk about is, man, there's other people this person is probably bullying too. And there's a lot of people that he's causing a lot of pain to, or this girl or boy that's doing it. But man, report them. They have no right to hurt you. They have no right to destroy your life or make you feel uncomfortable. Who are they to do that to you? Report them. Make notes like what this person did. So you just don't go in the office and go, this person called me this name, But when you have documented things like on this day he did this, on this day he did this, or, have write things down. It looks a lot better when you build a case against somebody that is bullying you. And most of the bullies I meet and do counseling with one-on-one often end up crying in the room. And I find out that they've been bullied themselves. And it's a way of, it's like, I've been hurt, so I want to hurt someone else. That's not the way it works. It's not the way it works. It doesn't make you feel any better. The joy I have in my life is helping other people. I can't imagine bullying someone or calling someone a name or making someone cry or hurt someone. I couldn't even imagine that in my life today, because the joy I get out of helping people. So maybe this bully is someone that really needs help, and look at it from a different point of view too. All right. Let's see what else we got going, guys. Got so many questions over here too. How many people we got on here now? All right. Our perception is shaped from what we are giving our energy towards. If we waste energy on negativity, either in person or online, it affects our positive mindset. Fletcher, you are so right. Perception is reality. What you perceive is what you will believe. And obviously, if you're always thinking negative thoughts, you ever? I'll give you an example because this recently happened to me. Okay, I'm watching the news and it's so negative. And I mean, it's like everything's happening, gas prices are going up, the border, this, that, everything is just crazy in the world today. And they show clips of people just stealing from stores or Just people, the murder rate's highest it's ever been. I'm watching this, and all of a sudden I'm like, I, I, I get up to use the restroom or something. As I'm walking, I'm going, wow, I'm really depressed. Like that really affected me. A positive person that's usually really happy, watching news for half an hour, and all of a sudden I get up and I go, this is really bad. But then I started thinking of positive things. Like so what I try to do is I always think of the blessings I have in my life, the good stuff, you know? We all go through bad stuff. You know, there's always my life's not perfect, and no one's life out there is perfect. But you know, it's not about the circumstance or situation, it's how we respond to it that makes all the difference. And trust me, I was the guy that would punch the wall, kick the door, throw my phone. I was crazy, you know? And as Dr. Phil would say, how's that working out for you? Truthfully, it didn't. So when I learned how to respond differently to adverse situations, my life completely changed. So that's a good point to think about is that perception is reality. All right. I purchased and read your book. Thanks for the positive energy and great life advice. George, thank you, man. Isn't it funny? I, I 2 years before I ever wrote that book, I put a post-it note on my computer, and it said book 2 years. Okay, so in other words, I gave myself 2 years to write a book. It actually said book 2010. That was in 2008. I decided to write a book, so I gave myself 2 years. So every day I got on my computer, I would see book 2010. Now, the first year I didn't write very much. Now remember, now I got 1 year left till this post-it note, this goal I wrote down is due. And man, knowing I only had a year left, I started writing as much as possible. And my book was delivered right before 2010 came. So I'm glad you enjoyed the book. It's time for me to write another one. I just got to, well, I shouldn't say find the time. I had a lot of time during this pandemic, but now that I'm back on the road, I got some things I do want to share and write about. So I'm going to do that. I was also told that no one would love me. I got married and have been married for a year, and my husband saved my life. He stopped me from ending my life. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be alive today. Oh, Jackie, that's actually beautiful to share that with everyone. You know, God bless your husband. You know, I mean, obviously he saw the value that maybe you didn't see in yourself, but I pray and hope you see the value in you now. You know, you're special, you're incredible, value, love yourself. You know, you have to love yourself because you can't give away what you don't have. So I apparently you're doing much better now, and you got a great relationship and a great husband. So God bless you. uh I heard Rocco. How is you did hear Rocco? Rocco is downstairs. I don't know if he'll come up here. He doesn't like. I'm upstairs. I have this little podcast room with that's the backdrop I have with my belts, different stuff, you know. And I don't know if he'll come up here. Hey, Rocco, want to come up here? Hey, Rock. No, he won't come. But I want to share something with you guys. Okay, um, some of my wrestling fans out there remember one of the greats in our industry was named superstar Billy Graham, and he's gone through some major health issues in this last year or so. And he growing up, I mean, he was one of my favorites. I used to love watching him. You know, man, he's got big arms and he was just tough, man. Well, anyways, we became friends, and he painted a portrait for me. I got to share this with you guys. I've had it for a while now, but I wanted to share this with you, and I hope you can see it. He hand painted this. I mean, is that incredible? It is my favorite. Like this means more to me than anything else I have materialistic, you know? I mean, because he did this for me. And it says down here, it says, Mark, I have rendered the painting for you in appreciation for the appreciation of time, dedication, of interacting with young people. It's just incredible. This right here is just, anyways, I just thought I'd share that with you guys because I have it hanging up downstairs, but I wanted to bring it up and just wish Billy Graham, my thoughts and prayers are with you, my friend. You are an incredible person, and the gift you gave me will will be here as long as I'm here. Okay, thank you. All right. Mark and DDP, the positivity too. It's what the world needs. Yeah, I love that guy, and we do a lot of things together, which is cool because I live near him now. We used to. I was in Florida, and he was here in Georgia, and I mean he's 20 minutes down the road now. So I go over to his house and we do the DDPY together, and have a lot of fun, man. We really do. He's a credible guy, and he gives so much to people. We who would ever think that our not only did we have so many matches against each other in wrestling, we were traveling together, and who would ever think that after wrestling, he would help people through fitness, and I would help people through my presentations at schools, and it's just been incredible. So we've helped each other. A lot of people don't know this though, that the Mother's Love video that went viral, um, Dallas actually filmed that. Yeah, I was staying at his house. We were doing schools here in Georgia, and DDP's got a whole yoga studio. So he has a crew that films and everything. So I was doing a school near us, near his home, and he said, "Hey, bro, you mind if the guys come down and film you?" I said, "Sure, why not?" And so they came to school and they filmed my presentation. They put together that little 5-minute Mother's Love video. And Dallas goes, "Hey, man, you mind if we put this up on YouTube?" He goes, "You never know. It might go viral." I said, "Sure, go ahead." Next thing you know, he calls me back. He goes, "Hey, Mark, you're not going to believe this. 100,000 views on that video, 200,000, a million. And it just kept going and going. So it's just been an incredible blessing that he did that video for me and sent it out. And it's helped so many people. All right, let's see. Lacey, I am in Georgia. I moved to Georgia. In fact, I got my 1-year anniversary coming up on the 16th November. That's just in a few days. My 1-year anniversary of being here. I used your Mother's Love video to a friend. I used your video, Mother's Love, to a friend that went down the wrong path, and after playing that to her, it closed the bond between her and her mother. Oh, that's beautiful to hear. I get letters like that every day, which is so amazing too. That video was from 5 or 6 years ago, and it's still blowing up all over the world. It's just incredible. So long after I'm gone, the Mother's Love video will continue inspiring and bringing families closer together. So I couldn't be happier knowing that. All right, let's see. Did Rocco finally get that squirrel? No, I don't want him ever to kill a squirrel. He can chase him all day long. The squirrels actually tease my dog. They know he's not going to catch them. It's the funniest thing because the squirrel now does this. He hits the tree, but he doesn't go up the tree. He keeps going around the tree, and Rocco chases the squirrel around the tree. And I know the squirrel is just playing with him because he can just go up the tree and Rocco would never get him. But he goes around the bottom of the tree a bunch of times, and Rocco just wears out, and then finally just stops, and the squirrel almost looks at him and I would say gives him the finger, but they don't have fingers. But anyway, um, my husband are making deliveries for Grubhub, and we pass a street called Just My Style. I never laughed so hard in my life. Oh, that's cute. You did the impossible. This is the only thing I would get out of one of Vince's live streams. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. When I was playing sports while I was a kid, even though I was not the best player, she still believed in me. Well, you were blessed to have a great mom, and those out there that have a great mother or father, you are so blessed because unfortunately, I meet a lot of kids who don't have a relationship with parents, or some of them are even raised by grandparents. One of the saddest things I remember seeing at a school was um, there was a kid that really was inspired by my presentation. He had a full scholarship to a major college. And the principal said, "Hey, man, why don't you go over and say hello to him?" Because he was kind of sitting down, kind of looking dejected. So I went over to him. I said, "Hey, man." And his principal told me about his scholarship and everything, and I didn't know anything about the student. I said, "Man, congratulations, full scholarship, man. You must be one heck of a player." I go, your parents must be so proud of you." And he looked up at me and he said, "They never saw me play." And it like just, my heart just fell. he lived with his parents. It wasn't like he was estranged from them. They just never came to his games. They didn't care. Wow. Even talking about it now, it breaks my heart. I can't. My mom and dad were even though they were divorced when I was 8 years old, they'd be at all my sporting events. They'd be at my hockey games, my football, boxing, whatever I was doing. They were there, and the support that they gave me. See, I never didn't have that, and hearing someone that didn't, it put me in a place that just brought a lot of sadness. And I gave him one of my wristbands because I wanted him to always think about, to always believe. And I hope he makes the pros someday. That'd be so cool to see him on the pro football someday. Uh, okay, someone said sometimes I would. Vanna says sometimes I would think that I'm not so good at, but my parents are always so supporting of me. They would tell me how talented that I am, and I believe them. Well, man, that's because they're telling you the truth. You are amazing. I tell you that all the time. Your writings, your encouragement to others, man, you've come so far, Vanna, and I am truly proud of you. All right, we got, let's see if I can go through some of these over here. Wow, there's a lot of, all right. Okay, I was watching one of your old wrestling matches. Legend always lives on. Oh, yesterday was the anniversary, the 16-year anniversary of Eddie Guerrero's passing. And Eddie Guerrero was one, man, I got to tell you, one of the greatest wrestlers that maybe didn't get the credit that some of the other people in our business, but to me, he's a legend. He was like one of the easiest guys to ever work with. There was like four or five guys when I look back of all the guys. I mean, over 14 years of wrestling, thousands of matches, and I think about all the different wrestlers that I worked with and were able to be in the ring with, the legends I wrestled. Eddie Guerrero was right up there at the top. I mean, he was just amazing to work with. And I put up a video on my Facebook page yesterday of me actually wrestling Eddie on a Nitro show. I was the world television champion at the time, and we wrestled to I think it was a 10-minute draw or something like that. But just to see the talent that guy had was incredible. And he is, you know, he is so missed, and he was so loved. I mean, his death probably hit more of us harder than most guys that have passed on. I mean, they all hit you hard, but there's something special about Eddie. And he was another guy that used to always grab my hand, and he'd go down to one knee, and he would pray with me. He'd say, "Let's pray before a match," and I always thought that was really special. And something I always remember about Eddie, how special that was for me, that I got to be with him and know him in that sense. All right. Uh, Mark and DDP, the positivity tour. It's what the world needs. Yes, we would love if we could ever get our schedules together where we could actually do a tour. It would be wonderful. He is crazy busy, and I have been, up until the pandemic, we've been crazy busy. But now we live close together. Who knows? We always talk about doing something together at some point. So maybe that will happen, and I hope it does. Let's see. Let's see what's here. Oh, Daniel says Eddie's walk with Christ has helped me get back to my life with God. Wow, that's beautiful. He was so spiritual, man. He just loved the Lord, and he wasn't afraid to show it either. And trust me, we have all gone through our tough times, our mistakes, our drugs, our alcohol, or whatever it would be. But man, Eddie's heart was bigger than life. He was just an incredible person, and I certainly do miss him. All right. Guys, I'm going to cut this out here in just about 5 more minutes. So I want to just get those last questions in. I know there's some we didn't get to. Wow. I really enjoyed this, talking with you guys, and you can always direct message me if there's something else that you want or you need. Um, I try to get to as many as possible in a day. We get, like I said, we get about 100 messages a day that we try to go through and sort out and try to help as many people as possible. The hard part is when we do schools, the numbers double and sometimes triple because of all the students that just seen the presentation right in. I want to thank the people that have helped us, that sponsored us, and if there's anyone out there that can support our mission at schools, help us help students, just go to the top of the page. It's pinned up there. It's thinkpause.org/donate. Donate and help us raise the money to go to schools so we can continuously change lives and even save lives. Your support is what keeps this ministry going for us to help kids. So thank you so much for those that have supported us and helped us, and especially during this pandemic. We did a lot of virtual events, which I know helped a lot of kids during this time of isolation and loneliness. But there's nothing like being live again. So I want to thank everyone for coming tonight, and hopefully this video will stay here for a while, and hopefully someone else that will hear it will help them. So thank you guys. God bless you all, and I hope to see you all soon. Take care.